Hopefully this thing will be up and rolling. Alrighty. And good morning, YouTube. Hey, good morning out there, homesteaders. How's everybody doing this morning? I hope everybody's having an amazing day. Let me adjust this a little bit. Not quite that far. And hope everybody's got plenty of stuff planned for today. I know they posted the news, which is sad for a lot of us. They posted the news that HOA was definitely canceled, which is kind of a bummer. I know we were looking forward to seeing a lot of each other during that time, but unfortunately, with everything that's going on, I think they made the right decision. It's a bummer, once again, but it is what it is. And we do what we do, right? So this week we got some just strange stuff happening in the garden. Just well, this weekend, last week, strange stuff happening in the garden. Plants just randomly dying for some unknown reason. Got dadgum ants just driving me nuts. I've been going through diatomaceous earth and borax like crazy, trying to get rid of them. A little powdered sugar in there too, and that all seems to help. But I've definitely drastically reduced the population of the ants in the garden, but haven't completely got rid of them. So I guess this fall, when everything dies back and I've planted what I'm going to plant, then we'll just have to go from there and hope for the best. But in the meanwhile, once I get everything uncovered, probably late this winter, I'll sprinkle the ground real heavy with diatomaceous earth and borax and a little powdered sugar mixed in, so they take it down into the nest. And hopefully that will probably won't alleviate the problem, but at least it will minimize it even more, and that'll definitely help. We got to get rid of some of the, there we go. Got to get rid of some of these daggum ants. They are tearing it up, and that definitely makes it tough. Hopefully, again, like I said, that'll take care of them. I do not like using poisons. I don't like using the other stuff if I don't have to. I don't like putting that stuff in the ground. Excuse me. At least not where I'm growing. So some of the other stuff, the more natural stuff, organic stuff, that doesn't bother me so bad. But using the poisons just isn't my first option. So, but we do what we got to do, right, to get our gardens to grow. So I like to be as organic as possible, and not worry about the stuff, because I figure I put into it what I put into my family, and I don't want to put that stuff into my family. So I stay as organic as absolutely possible. Good morning, Tina. How are you this morning? And so, I mean, that's one of the reasons why a lot of us started this, because we wanted to know what kind of food we were putting in us, and if you start using all kinds of pesticides and all that other crud, then, I mean, really, that's what you're putting into you. So, I didn't want to do that, so I decided to go organic. A lot of people say that, oh, well, organic, you don't get as many vegetables. Well, I'll tell you what, I got 2 3.5 gallon buckets full of zucchini and squash right now from yesterday and the day before that would heartily disagree with you. So my zucchini and squash crop has been amazing this year, and I planted half of what I planted last year. The plants I planted last year, I did for a reason. I decided that I wasn't going to plant as many because we just had way too much extra. I'm doing very well, thank you, Tina. And so I only planted 6 total, 6 zucchini and squash plants. Well, zucchini and yellow squash. And I planted 5. I actually planted 8, but only 5 of them made it. Acorn squash, and that was for this spring crop, and the Cherokee tan pumpkins. And they were all doing great until about 2 days ago, when it seems like I lost an entire vine of Cherokee tan pumpkin for some unknown reason. I can't see any evidence of vine borers or anything like that. I don't know if somebody's putting poison on it, or, which doesn't make any sense. Why would somebody do that to your garden, you know? But it is what it is. I'm putting out a video. I got tagged by Marianne at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So our Serenity Homestead, good morning. And so I'll be putting out a video on that for this next week, and you'll get to see the devastation of my poor Cherokee tan pumpkin, at least one of the vines. I'm very disappointed with it. There were so many little pumpkins on it, and but I still got a couple good vines going, so we're going to hope for the best, and hopefully we can keep them going and get them out there. That way I'll have plenty of seeds. The other pumpkins that I planted in the front yard. I planted some sugar pie pumpkins, and they're doing very well. They're just starting to come up out of their raised bed, so that's a good thing. Again, going completely organic, and like I said, I only planted the 6 zucchini plants and yellow squash, the yellow crooknecks, because I didn't want as many as last year. And it seems like we have gotten everything we got last year and then some. I have been giving away squash and stuff like that left and right for a couple of months now, because we have just been overloaded with them. My acorn squash have gone crazy, taken over a good chunk of the garden, and I have right now. I already have close to 30 of them in the garage, just sitting. So the nice part is acorn squash lasts a long time. So we are going to put up a little thing here in the house to store them, so it's not quite so hot. But Tina says you're freezing eggs this morning. Oh yeah, I had them for 65 cents. And since you don't have chickens, yep, there you go. None of your zucchini pumpkins made it this year. What a bummer. But man, ours went nuts. And like I said, the zucchini has just been crazy. We've got probably we had. My mom stopped by, and we gave her probably 15 bags of shredded zucchini, because we had probably 45 of them, quart bags. all with about 2 to 2.5 cups in them. And so we gave those to my mom and pop. So, but along with about 20 acorn squash, because my mom loves acorn squash. We do too, by the way, our Serenity Homestead. We love acorn squash. So, unfortunately, my butternut squash didn't make it this year. That's the one for me that I'm saddened by. Our butternut squash just didn't come up. Not at all. None of them. So must have had some bad seeds or something. But anyway, that's all right. We got cushion, we got spaghetti squash, and so we'll make do with what we've got. And we got lots of acorn squash. So lots of acorn squash. Oh, good morning, Jan. And but we have just had a ton of them. So the corn looks like we've got some that is about ready for harvest. Well, I'll have to check it again this morning. The okra is doing well. We harvested some yesterday. I'm going to harvest a bunch this morning because I know we missed a bunch. So we'll harvest a bunch this morning and get it ready. Our 13-year-old just absolutely loves okra. And my wife and I both like it too, but not like our 13-year-old. So she doesn't even care if it gets big, and the great big ones, when they start to get a little woody, she didn't care then. So, but I like them when they're between 3 and 5 inches. You know, when they're still nice and soft and tender. So, but headed to the farmer's market. Your spaghetti squash didn't pollinate. Yeah, see, our spaghetti squash are doing well. I started them late on purpose because I didn't want to have too many vining squash taking over the whole garden. The acorn squash are starting to die back now, which is what I expected. So I will gather up as many of the squash as I can, the acorns, and we'll call it good. But I am going to be tearing some of the stuff out of the garden today because, like I said, good, bad, and the ugly. I mean, I've been battling with a few squash bugs on one of my plants. I couldn't see any evidence that they made it over to the pumpkins, which were in the far corner, and they were like separated by the whole garden, the zucchini plant that was getting attacked and the pumpkins. So it's just kind of weird. But my Norton antivirus just came on and said it was running. But other than that, everything seems to be going fairly well. It's nice and cool this morning. It's only about 64 degrees. So we're going to take advantage of that and get out there and get some stuff done before it gets too hot, because it's just miserable here when it's hot. It's hot and dry. I know for those of you that live in the South, I used to. So believe me, I feel for you. I'd rather have this than that. So, oh, sorry, it says it's 63 degrees this morning. But I think it said it was supposed to be in the low 90s. Yeah, 93 today. Well, I guess it is going to be a little humid. 23% chance of showers. So that means it's going to be fairly humid today. Right now it's saying it's about 65%, so which is kind of odd for the high desert, but it is what it is, right? We've had last week, no, not this past week, the week before, we had a lot of rain, almost every day. The nice part is for us, when I say we had a lot of rain, total we might have got inch and a half all week long, if that. It's usually enough to get everything good and wet and good and soaked, and then it's done. It's gone. and the next day it gets hot, and then the next night it does it all over again, which is pretty good, really, for us. It's good on the garden anyway. Nothing really gets overwatered, except occasionally the tomatoes will crack and split because of it. But and that's just excuse me. That's just a battle that you fight every year with tomatoes. Is a sudden burst of overwater and it splits a bunch of tomatoes. So fortunately for us this year, our tomatoes are doing terrible. I say fortunately because we didn't have any that we had to worry about splitting. Our tomatoes are they're tiny. I mean, they have never taken off this year. Usually by this time of year, I've got 6-foot high tomato plants, and I still have some that might not even be a foot tall. And then I've got some that are about 2 feet tall. So I don't know what's going on this year. It's a real strange year. We had one that my wife has been nursing back to health since the very beginning. It went in the ground and decided it was going to die. So it has been dying in the stages of dying off and coming back since the beginning. So hopefully we'll get anything off of it. I mean, anything is better than nothing. So I told my wife this next year we're gonna do things a little different. We're definitely gonna get things in the ground earlier. Now that I have the weed barrier, I can just roll it up, put it in the garage, and we've got it for next year. So it'll I may just leave it down all winter and keep the weeds from coming back. So. And then again, who knows? They're talking about a second stimulus. And, you know, I'm not going to count my chickens, but if we do get one, I'll get a silage tarp. And then I'll just cover everything with a silage tarp, and we'll call it good for the winter, you know. And we'll just keep all the weeds down, completely down. So, and the chickens will be happy. Oops, sorry about that. The chickens will be happy. They'll have pretty much full reign of the place until then. So we may just pull everything up and let the chickens roam in there. So we'll just have to see what's going on, you know. Hopefully they'll enjoy it. But other than that, our farmer's market here doesn't start for another, see, it says it's a little after 7, 20 after 7 almost. Doesn't start till 8 o'clock. I may or may not go down there this morning. We'll just have to wait and see. See how far I get in the garden. You know, if I get somewhere in the garden, then we'll think about whether or not we're going to go down to the farmer's market and see what they've got. There's a couple guys down there that I like to get eggs from, since mine aren't laying yet. And I'll pick up some eggs from them if I think about it. Otherwise, I'll just I'll wait and just go to the store and get some. But again, hopefully everybody's having a great day. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the stuff that's going on. Enjoying your time at home if you're getting time at home. Enjoying your families. Keep staying safe. Can't stress enough to stay safe. I mean, I'm in my 50s, and I know that's in the group that in a lot of states is only second highest. But it seems to have more devastating effects, so more permanent effects than a lot of others. So please be safe out there. And you 18 to 49-year-olds, which seems to be the highest group that's getting it, y'all especially stay safe. Definitely don't want anyone I know or anyone that I know that they know. 6 degrees. So everybody stay safe. I know this morning I wasn't planning on staying on too long. Like I said, I want to get out in the garden before it gets too hot. Anybody got anything going on interesting in their gardens? Got some crazy stuff going on? Growing potatoes. How do I know when to harvest? We always waited until the tops started to die out. When the tops start to fall, that's when we harvested. But it doesn't work for everybody. Some people like to check them periodically, depending on how long they've been in the ground. One of the advantages that I did the Ruth Stout method, which is using the straw or hay to plant in, and that was fantastic. It was super easy to check and see how they were doing. So, and every time the greens poked up above it, you just threw a little more straw down. Made it super easy to harvest because all you had to do is just rake stuff out of the way and pick up your taters. So, not to mention it was way more productive than I expected. So, I mean, we turned 10 pounds of taters into, I don't know, a little over 100. So, I don't remember the exact numbers, but we definitely multiplied our harvest big time. So, yeah, if your tops are still good and green, then they're still growing good and strong. I'd leave them be. Like I said, we always just waited for the tops to start to fall. That's just kind of an indication that they had gone through their cycle. So it's kind of like onions. You wait for the tops to fall over before you harvest them. So, but other than that, just average day here in eastern New Mexico. Gonna get out there, get some stuff done. Hopefully get my butt over to Lowe's and pick up a piece of sheetrock. So I'm gonna fix the open area upstairs and close that up in our attic so that it's not open to the outside, so it's not getting so hot up there. Help keep the house a little bit cooler. But looking forward to it. I got to harvest a little bit of garlic. So, but anyway, I hope everybody has an amazing day. Tina, stay safe out there at the market. Don't forget to wear your mask. Carry your hand sanitizer. Stay safe. And watch out for the morons. I mean, that's about the nicest way I can say how to put it, Broussards, good morning. How are you this morning? But we're just kind of winding down here, and I'm hoping that everybody is safe out there, and I spoke briefly when I first started about how disappointed I was that HOA was canceled. I'm bumming out that that got canceled. I was looking forward to meeting a lot of y'all, but Jan, we are 2 hours from Ruidoso, somewhere right in there. We are about kind of in a triangle between on the New Mexico side between Amarillo and Lubbock. So pretty close to the state line. Clovis, little town called Clovis. So, yeah, you did. You did miss it. But was talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the gardening this year. So, squash were good, zucchini was good, but my Cherokee tan pumpkins are dying. So, and I had a lot of beans die this year too. It was real strange. So I had like one whole line die, and my peppers, I transplanted all my peppers. They all took off great. They were doing fantastic, and then just boop. I lost about half of them, so it's kind of strange. But he used to live in Chaparral. Okay. When I was working out down by White Sands, I used to go through Chaparral a lot, going down to El Paso. So, but yeah, I worked out at White Sands for about 6 months before I got my job up here. So, but it's been good this year, and it's been bad. I mean, the garden has been up and down. The one constant is the chickens, so they're doing very well. Couple of roosters getting ready to go to freezer camp. Don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, but your guys' okra isn't doing well, huh? Ours started out doing bad, and then all of a sudden just took off. I mean, now most of them are about 4 foot tall and producing real well. But I also have some that are still down in the 6 inch to 1 foot range that decided randomly to sprout that I didn't think were going to. So we might have okra all the way through. That's what happened to our garden too. The heat, I think, is what took it. We got 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago is when it started. We had a hot spell that lasted about 2 weeks. That it was over 100 every day, and there was just no way to keep enough water on the garden. I mean, I was watering in the morning before 6 o'clock, and I was watering again after 9 o'clock at night, and I just couldn't keep enough water on the garden. So a lot of stuff. I think my peas really suffered the most because I didn't have my warm weather peas. Well, I had purple hulls planted, which do well in warm weather, but I had a lot of Lincoln peas and Yarden peas planted and snap peas, and they all suffered in the heat. I lost a bunch of plants. We still have a few, but not nearly what we had. So, but anyway, I appreciate y'all stopping in. I do. I hope everyone stays safe out there. I hope you can stay away from the morons and keep your family safe. And no dough, no problem. Just grow. You know how it goes. So y'all have a blessed one. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. And we'll chat with y'all later. We sure do appreciate you. God bless y'all. And goodbye, YouTube world.